Hey YouTubers and gamers, and after about a few weeks or a month I'm back with some more gaming pickups, and I've decided to introduce a new element to my videos. Basically we're going to have a little bit of a competition or game. I have here on this little notice board a name of a game. But what I've done is, obviously, I substituted one of the words. So this competition is called Name the Game, and all I want you to do, guys, is to leave in the comment box what you think the actual game should be called. Or obviously, if you rather put if you come up with even funnier or alternative titles to a game, put that down as well in the comments. But this is just a little bit of tongue-in-cheek fun. So at the beginning of every video, I'm going to have a different a little game title, which you gotta have to guess what it is. So I've changed one of the words. Can you guess which word it is, and can you guess which game it is? So anyway, what does I leave it out there for now? Okay, so it doesn't fall on my head. Okay, all right, pickups. Okay, what should I start off with? Strategy guides. Why not? Game.co.uk, the store had some strategy guides reduced. These were about a tenner. So I've got the Metal Gear Solid 5 limited edition, Phantom Pain. I think I've got a standard strategy guide as well, but I haven't got this limited edition one. And I thought, well, as it's the last proper official Metal Gear Solid game, I know there's another one that's come out more recently, but it hasn't got the main creator in there, has it? It hasn't got Hideo Kojima in it, so I don't think it really counts, does it? I still get that game, of course, but I think this is probably the last proper Metal Gear game we're getting. I thought I might as well have a decent strategy guide for it. Wolfenstein 2. I don't think there was a strategy guide for the first Wolfenstein game. I don't think there was, but I could be wrong. But anyway, this is quite a nice collector's edition. Again, it was about a tenner. Okay, now this is a big clue, but anyway, alright, I've got this strategy guide too. Okay, yeah, there wasn't one for the first game, I don't think, not a collector's edition strategy guide anyway, so it's funny that they only bought a strategy guide for a second, but I hear nothing but good reviews about this game, so it's, you know, Bethesda, so it's bound to be good. Alright, turning to... let's get the PS4 games out of the way, shall we? Okay, I pre-ordered from Smiths for the PlayStation VR the Bravo Team box set, which comes with a special VR gun controller, which is quite space age, I suppose. Yeah, I've also got another game which comes with a gun as well. What's that called? I can't remember now. But anyway, so yeah, these I've got this one pre-ordered from Smith, so I saved a £5, so it was £55 instead of £60. So I think Game was charging about £79 for this or something like that as well, or it could be £69. It's definitely more expensive than what it should be. Right, other PS4 titles. Okay, from the limited one, I got the Bit Trip. And from America, this is an American exclusive. I think this cost me about 20 quid in the end. 20th anniversary Duke Nukem World 3D Tour. I really don't know why we didn't get a proper release of that. Why is this just in the States? I don't know. Deadlight Director's Cut. That was quite cheap. It was about a tenner. I've got this limited edition already, but I wanted the standard edition to actually play because I think I'll keep the limited edition all sealed. The Last Guardian. It's got mixed reviews, but I'm sure it'll be alright. Okay, this other game is from I Am 8-Bit, and they still got them in stock if anyone's interested. Just check out their website. It's called What Remains of Edith Finch. I guess it's a bit of a mist type mystery game. But I was just, if you watch some of the videos on this, the imagination that goes into this sort of large house or area that you investigate, it's really creative and quite immersive, I think. So I thought, I usually don't have patience for these sort of games, but I thought this one, it looks like a kind of game that I would like to give a go and enjoy, really. It wasn't a lot of money, I think it was about 25 quid or something, so if you're interested in that game, check out I Am 8-Bit. Okay, that's all the PS4 titles. Oh, hang on, there's a couple more here. We've got this from Argos, 4 out of 4 Game of the Year edition. Now the extras actually on this DLC, but the disc of this actually does say Game of the Year edition disc. So even though there's a hell of a lot you've got to download anyway, it does have a special, its own disc of this version of 4 out of 4. So if you're a 4 out of 4 fan and was put off getting this because you've heard all the DLCs on download, well it is, but then what modern games can you play these days without downloading something? You know, most of them are like that. But anyway, it does have its own special Game of the Year edition disc. So if you're a bit of a collector and fan, get this if you see it cheap. Obviously only get a new copy because obviously the DLC probably wouldn't work if you buy a used copy. But still, you know, it does have its own special disc. Okay, and this game I've got on the Switch, PS Vita, and I've got a standard edition game which I'm going to play, but this is another collector's edition which I thought I'll get while it's relatively it's still retail price, it's 25 quid, so I think this will be one of those games, Axiom Verge, that will become quite expensive and collectible in the future. I've just got a feeling that it's in my water, so to speak. That's going to be quite a collectible game. Okay, alright, that's enough of the Switch. Let's turn to PS3. I've got a couple of PS3 titles. These are both Japanese exclusives. They didn't cost a lot. They both cost, well, this one was about £8 including postage, which is dirt cheap. And it's called Gladiators Versus, and it's some kind of fantasy battle type games. So I'm not sure how good it is and how playable it is without English. But I saw this on another pickup video of someone. I thought that's an interesting game, and it's only 8 quid, so I thought I might as well get that. Okay, this one. It's part of a Japanese anime which has come over to UK, and I think the anime is called Sengoku Basara, but this collection is just called the Basara HD collection. So it's got Basara first game and the second, and there's also a spin-off of the second. So basically it's got 3 games of Basara on it. But there is a copy of this on another Sengoku Basara game on the PS3, which it did get a UK release. But this is the Japanese collection that has different games. Again, it's a bit of a massive battle type game, so I don't think it matters too much the fact that it's mostly Japanese. I think that some of the instructions are in a bit of a mishmash of Japanese and English, so I think it's playable. But again, this wasn't a lot of money. This is about 13 quid including postage from Japan, which I thought was pretty good. So good deals can still be had. Talk of good deals, this isn't. From Nintendo, from a Nintendo store, I bought Bayonetta, the UK limited edition, Bayonetta 2. And I have to say that I'm very disappointed, well, I'm disappointed, I'm not surprised. I'm very disappointed with Nintendo for sort of treating their fans badly by giving us a mediocre edition of this. In Japan you get a physical copy of Bayonetta 1. In the PAL territories, and probably in the States as well, you get a download. Although they still charge you for this collector's edition an additional 30 quid, and for that you get a steelbook, some kind of cards, and some stickers. But no physical copy of the game for an extra 30 quid. I think this is purely a case of Nintendo realising. I got this from Nintendo because I ordered it from a Nintendo store. It's just a little double-sided poster. Whoopee. I think Nintendo realised that these were going to sell out whatever they put inside it, so they thought, oh, we'll charge a premium price and we'll give you a substandard product. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Switch. I think it's a very good device, but I think some of the games, they are taking a mickey, aren't they? Especially when they're re-releases from the Wii games and stuff like that. I mean, it's obviously what they're doing. These games underperformed on the Wii games, Wii U. They underperformed on the Wii U, and so they're rebranding them and giving us a few updates and stuff and selling them for top dollar to Switch owners. Now, if they had been like a discounted price, like 30 quid, I think that's fair enough. But often these games are in about a £50 price. I mean, even in the CX, when used copies, I was looking at 1-2 Switch used, 40 quid. 40 quid for that used game, and that was like basically a Switch demo game type thing. It was just, I really think the Switch prices are expensive. They should be the same price most of the time as I think the 3DS games. Usually about 30 quid 3DS games. And in my opinion, I think the Switch is like a successor to a 3DS. I know it's not officially, but it's more of a successor to a 3DS than it is to a Wii U and stuff because of the cartridge system. It's probably little game cartridges. And it's the idea of it is trying to be portable and everything else really. And I know you can play games on the big TV, and that's how I tend to prefer it. But a lot of people just like to play it portably. So I really think the Switch is, in a way, a future predecessor to 3DS. Because if you think about a number of games that are coming out on the 3DS, it's hardly anything now. And so 3DS is it's on its last legs, even though it's still a bloody good game system handheld and got a fantastic library of games. The 3DS library is huge, and I'm just thinking that they'll keep trying to get us to buy the same product by buying the 2DS XL or whatever else, and keep doing that, some more revisions and stuff. But really, we need either they say, yeah, we're going to do a Switch and it's going to be our handheld or whatever, and do a little Switch Mini, which would definitely be a replacement for a 3DS. And I think that's probably what more likely to happen. I doubt there will be a 4DS. Perhaps there will be a Switch Mini, which will, instead of having the side bits, the little controllers coming off, they built into a unit, so you can only play the Switch games on a little smaller tablet. I reckon that's probably what might happen. It all makes sense if they did that. But I'm glad that the Switch library is improving. There's a lot more choice when you go in the shops, even though about 2/3 of the Switch library are old games re-released. So that's not encouraging. And even though there are some new releases, they're mostly really, honestly, they're mostly Nintendo exclusives and so forth. So I reckon Nintendo still, Switch is still not competitive. It's not competing anymore. I don't think. That's why I say it's more like the 3DS. It's not trying to compete with the PS4 or Xbox One anymore. It's just doing its own thing, really, isn't it? And people who have bought the Switch and of course the Nintendo fanboys are supporting it, and why not? It's a good little system. The only thing that's letting it down is Nintendo's attitude of charging way too much for games, really, £50 for a game, why don't they just charge 30 quid a game and sell more? And I know there's less profits, but there will be more profit because, let's face it, when families buy games for their kids or whatever, there's a fixed budget, so they got £150 put aside for games. Either they can get 3 Switch games, or they're £30 each, 5 Switch games. And why not let the families be able to afford 5 Switch games for 30 quid a game, especially if they're not proper new releases. I just think Nintendo are being a bit greedy, and I think they are, by doing that, I don't know, it's creating a little bit of bitterness, particularly with me. But I don't know if any other Switch fans there. Do you feel a bit bitter by the prices that we're charging, or you're quite happy to pay top rank for these Wii U re-releases? Because I would have thought the Nintendo fans would have bought a Wii U anyway, so you've got most of the games already, I would have thought, but maybe I'm wrong. But I'm not bad mouthing Nintendo, just some of the management policies about pricing and stuff, and definitely give us a proper release, unless they're planning to re-release Bayonetta 1 over here as a standalone release in the physical format to make more money. Maybe they'll do that and they'll give us fans the choice of getting a physical copy, which would be nice. I mean, even the Japanese fans, they can't get the hold of those limited editions anymore because all the Western population who wants a physical copy have ordered them all up. So, they got paid about 3 times retail if they do want to get one. So, it's not doing anyone any favours, really, apart from the resellers. But anyway, this moaning. Got this little plushie that was released. PlayStation have released a number of plushies on PlayStation characters, like Nathan Drake and stuff. But I had to get Parappa Rapper. I was to mind collecting some of those sort of PlayStation type amiibos, but I'm not too sure if I'll bother now because I already got a plushie for Sackboy, which was the other one which I would have got, and this one. So shall I just keep it to plushies or shall I get the little amiibos? I really don't know. I'm a bit, I don't know, amiiboed out, I think, because it's about finding space for all these bloody things, really. They look nice, but if you want to keep them in boxes, which are half of mine are, you just take up more space. And as if you can find the bloody game, the amiibos. I'm still trying to get a few of the more last releases and stuff like that, but there's some Fire Emblem ones, and I was going to get some Bayonetta ones, but I don't think I'll bother anymore because you can't seem to see them. So yeah, again, I'm thinking amiibos. I don't know. I think I've had enough of them, really. But anyway, that's me. If you like them, nothing wrong with that. Okay, Dreamcast. Got one Dreamcast game. It's called Deadly Alliance. Now, this game is not the first game, I believe, if I'm right. Where was it? Oh, God. It's a bit of a confusion, because there's Deadly Alliance 3 that was released on the PlayStation 2. And then there was Deadly Alliance on the Xbox. That's Deadly Alliance 2, sorry. And this is the first one, yeah. This is Deadly Alliance. This is the first proper Deadly Alliance game on the Dreamcast. Or one that got released. There was a game on the Xbox exclusive also called Deadly Alliance, but that's technically Deadly Alliance 2. Okay? Confused? I know what I was. And so when I got that on the Xbox, I thought that was Deadly Alliance 1. This game, it's not. They're two separate games. So this is the first Deadly Alliance, and then there's Deadly Alliance 2 on the Xbox, original Xbox, and then there's Deadly Alliance 3 that got released on the PS2. So these Konami flight simulator shooters, fight battle games are always very good. So that wasn't a lot of money. I think I literally got that for about £7 or something, and the case fortunately came undamaged, which is a novelty with Dreamcast games. Oh, Switch. I still got one other Switch game. So I've decided to pick up the Lego games on the Switch because it's portable. Originally I was getting them exclusively on the PS Vita, but they've stopped releasing new Lego games on the Vita, haven't they? So they all come out on the Switch instead. So I'm getting these. So I've got the Marvel Superheroes 2, the Season Pass, the Deluxe Edition that's got all the downloadable content, which is another issue in itself, really, Surely everyone should be able to get this, well, regardless of whatever release you get, but it's just a way of the world of making more money out of people. But anyway, so there's that. Okay, PSP, one game, WW All Stars. It's £1.50 from CX. I didn't have it. It's PSP, so why not? Okay, where am I? Okay. Original Xbox games. Got a couple more games from Mistakes. Original Xbox that was exclusive to Toys R Us. I got this. It was like it's from a store, a large store that sells on eBay, and they give very limited information about what you get. All it did say it was like the game was boxed, and that's all it says. So I took a chance about getting it with a manual, because I always like games complete with manuals. But because it was like super cheap, it was about I think it was about £7 or something, including the shipping from the States, which is like nothing, because normally this game goes for about 2 or 3 times that price if you get it where it's there to complete by a small eBay sale. But anyway, I took a chance on this and it came complete, and it's a Toys R Us exclusive. It's called Sneakers. And basically you go around playing, mice or whatever. So it's a bit of a platforming, 3D type platforming game, I suppose. But it's an American exclusive, so I wanted that one. I'm not getting all American exclusives, just a more interesting one. This one is an Xbox 360 exclusive, and it's came out in the States only. It is basically called The Darkest of Days. Now, looking at that, you'll just think, oh, that's an American Civil War game. It's not. Basically, you play this time traveller whereby you go back to historical battles, and you have like modern weapons with you. So if you notice that soldier, he's got a modern assault rifle, or whatever it is. Yeah. So it's a bit more interesting, and we never got this in Europe, and it does look extremely interesting, this game. I've not had a chance to play it yet, but I wanted to get it, and now I've got my modded Xbox 360, I can easily play those games and have it on the hard drive. Okay, so that's that. Where am I now? We've got one Wii game. Again, it's about £1.50 from Cash Converters. It's Codemasters. It looks like a party type game. It's called Emergency Mayhem, and basically you control a choice of 3 emergency vehicles, and it's a bit like it's a little bit like Crazy Taxi on some stages, and then in some stages it's like a light gun shooter, and on other stages it's more like a puzzle type game. So it looked interesting for a Wii title. It's only £1.50, so I don't think I would say that was shovelware. I just think that's more of a perhaps one of those hidden gems, maybe. Okay, this game, it's a bit like what's it called, that game? It's not like Pong, but it's a similar sort of thing. What's it called again? When you control paddle goes across the bottom. Is it that Breakout? It's called, and you got a ball bouncing up and down. You're trying to destroy a wall at the top. Well, this is the same sort of thing, but it's you play like a chicken, and you got to bounce, I think, eggs or something towards enemies and walls, and once you've destroyed one wall, you move on to a next level type thing. So it's a bit of a novelty type game. It's on the DS, so again it was only about £2, so it looked okay. So I thought I'd give it a try for that money. Okay, where are we now? Okay, PS2. Right, now this game is shovelware, and I just got it because I thought, oh, I sod it. It's Crazy Frog Racer 2. It was £1 from Cash Converters. I haven't got the first Crazy Frog Racer, and again I'll probably get it if I see it for £1, but it is kind of shovelware, so I don't know. I was in 2 minds. I've been put off buying it for years, and I just thought, so I'll get it now. Okay, this game, it normally goes for about a tenner. I paid £8, and how I did it, I bought it twice. I bought one copy of the game that didn't come with a game, but it just came with a box and manual. And then I bought another copy of the game, which came with the game and a box, but no manual. So, but all in total, the two cost me about £7 or something like that, £7-8. So it worked out cheaper than buying this on its own, which was complete, which would have been a tenner. So anyway, it's Spectral versus Generation. It's a kind of beat 'em up type game. The reviews are a bit mixed, so it's probably not our best games. I do already have this on the PSP. It's released over in the UK by Midas, but it's obviously a Japanese type fighter. So, okay, these other 2 games are certainly Japanese games. I have this one, which is a an average type racing type game, but I think the channel Retro Core had it and it looked interesting. It's by Namco and it's called Critical Velocity. Surprisingly, this did not cost me much to get imported from Japan. It was about £8 again. So sometimes you can still get bloody good prices. And it's playable, it's a racing game. Right, this game is an RPG, and so it won't be really playable without a walkthrough. The reason why I got this is because it was originally released on the Saturn, and a Saturn version of this game in English is extremely expensive. I think it's about £100 mark. If you get the Japanese Saturn version, I think it's about the £40 mark. But the game was also released on the PS2, and it's about £20 or something. So that's how I got my copy, and that is Dragon Force. Now, obviously, this is in Japanese, but I am confident that at some point in the future you'll be able to get machines that can play like PS1 games and PS2 and Saturn games, and via some kind of emulation or something, I don't know. But you'll be able to play them, and you'll be able to apply translation patches. That's what I reckon at some point in the future. So even though I won't be playing this right now, I'm getting it for a future sake, because I'm sure that at some point in the future I will be able to play this and then apply some kind of translation patch. I'm pretty confident that's going to happen at some point. It may take another 10 or 20 years, but I reckon we'll get there. And with that same some kind of thinking, I've got some more Saturn games which are similar type issues. This is another extremely expensive Saturn game, both in America and UK, and it's Albert Odyssey. But also I've got this on a Saturn. And on the Saturn, this Saturn version cost me about, I think it's about £14, including shipping from Japan. So, incredibly cheap. Again, on the thinking that at some point there'll be translation patches and stuff like that you'll be able to apply. I reckon, you know, that's a cheaper way of getting hold of that particular game. Another Japanese game that is normally on a Mega Drive, I think. No, Saturn, sorry, a UK Saturn game, sorry. And that is Shinobi Den. And that's extremely expensive. It's about £80 now, and a PAL copy of Shinobi Den. But the Japanese copy was really cheap. I think this was about £20. So again, and this is playable, even though it's, you know, because this is playable in English. I mean, the video and stuff is obviously in Japanese, the video sequences, but the game itself is all in English. So this is playable without translation patches, what I'm trying to say. So that's a good way of getting that particular game. These other two games are Japanese games whereby you can play them in without Japanese language. They're pretty much English friendly. And so there's this sort of a strategy type RPG type game called Shadows of the Tusk. And this was about the £25 mark from Japan. And this other game was again, it was about probably £28. It's a bit of a platforming type, 3D type platforming type game, and that is Willy Wombat. Again, this is one that's, like I said, it's a English speaking friendly game. This is Saturn. Okay, last but not least, I have two more games to show you, and these are going back to old school games. I have Boxed Complete for about £18 from the States, including shipping, is Data East's Karnov. Now, I hadn't heard of this game actually until I saw some YouTuber was playing it, a bit of this on one of their videos, and it was demonstrating I don't know, some sort of an NES clone. But anyway, it looked like an interesting game actually. It's a bit of a platforming type game, and the mechanics are okay. It's not a bad game. It's interesting. You play like this Russian type strongman that goes about firing fireballs or something as like a weapon. You fight dinosaurs and other type monsters and things, and it didn't look bad actually. So to get this box complete with manual and everything for 18 quid, and I thought that's not bad for an NES game. And last but not least, another Japanese import. This is a game which I did not know existed actually. Who had it? I can't remember now who had this. But another YouTuber I saw that they had, had the cartridge of this, and I thought, oh, I get that. It's a bit of a. It's based on the anime movie, and so it's language intensive. And I don't think it'll be particularly enjoyable unless you've got a translation patch. And I was looking for translation patches. I couldn't find any. Well, not to play this version on my Retro Freak anyway. But basically, it is a Famicom game, Akira, which is obviously based on the classic anime. What's great about some of these Famicom boxes, they are like proper Japanese books, and it's all back to front. The titles on the back, or are back, and then the second page is on our front, or their backs, or whichever way you want to look at it. But all complete with manual and everything. This was, it wasn't a lot. I think it was about £12–14 including shipping. It wasn't a lot of money from Japan, so yeah, I thought another nice little game to add to my Famicom collection, because I really like Akira. And anyone who's not seen Akira out there, what are you doing? Watch Akira. It's quite intense though, and a bit extreme and kind of over the top towards the end. But still, it is it's classic. I think I would say if you ever had to watch one anime movie ever, I think it has to be Akira. It's got the combination of action and sci-fi and fantastic animation all combined, and it is a classic. I'm not saying the game's a classic, but the anime is anyway. Okay guys, that's it. That's all my pickups for the past month. So not bad, if I may say so myself. And as always, thanks again for watching the channel. Do leave comments, tick the box or whatever, like, subscribe. I really appreciate your support and stuff over the this channel's been going for about 2.5–3 years now, so I really appreciate any support from people, and I hope you like my idea of having a little quiz and type thing. It just spices things up a little bit. But anyway, that's it for now until next time, which may be in about 3 or 4 weeks time anyway. Take care and look after yourself, and bye.